when you in your cell and you see them bricks in there, how you can take all your thoughts and throw them inside each brick and just look at them. Your past, present, and your future, and you just look at them. What am I going to allow to consume me? You can either let the negative mentality consume you, or you can let that positive mentality consume you.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You listening to the What I Know Now podcast about life inside the juvenile justice system and what it's like to turn things around after. I'm Bilal Arayed, and I've been through it.
And my name is Cole Williams. I am an advocate, a father, and I entered into the Juvenile Detention Center because my son was there. We're gonna sit down with young men and young women who've been through the juvenile justice system, just like Bilal. And we'll talk about how they got in, how they got out, and what they know now.
We're here to break down those walls, have some raw conversations, and hopefully change some lives along the way. Let's get into it.
So welcome back, y'all. I'm excited to share with you a new guest that we have on the show today. His name is Jimmy Horsley. Jimmy is not only a father, but Jimmy is, I would say, from my experience walking alongside this brother, a mentor, and I think a mentor without even realizing he's mentored. So I'm excited to have him on the show, you guys. So welcome, Jimmy.
Yes, thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Of course. Before we dive into your story, how are you feeling today? What's something big or small that brought you joy this week?
I'm feeling pretty good today, and my good Lord and Savior brought me joy. It made me feel good today, and I spent some time with my son.
Well, Jimmy, listen, man, I'm excited to have this conversation with you. I think we met, I feel like it was 5 years ago, but it could have been longer or shorter. I can't quite remember. I got a picture of me, you, and a brother at a barbecue joint. I don't know if you even remember that.
Yes, I do.
But we
out
had
there by the belt line.
Out there by the belt line. Yeah, man. So I know it's been a number of years. But before, again, like Nick said, before we dive into your story, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And how did you, just tell us about who you are.
Okay, I'm originally from Mississippi.
Okay.
I moved up here back in '97, seeking to do good with my life, but I got caught up in the streets out here.
Okay.
So that's what leads me up right to this day.
Okay. So we met a couple years ago in a program, a fatherhood program. I don't know if you remember the fatherhood classes that you participated in. Can you tell us a little bit about like what were those classes like as a dad? And we met actually at the county jail. So could you tell us a little bit about like what those classes were like, if you remember?
Oh yeah, I still remember.
Yeah, you still okay?
Yeah, I mean those classes got real in depth on what fatherhood is and what it truly means to the dad. And I learned a lot. Yeah. Even though at that time my life was still in shambles. But the things that I retained from all the meetings that we had, it always gave me hope. It always gave me a strength to be fearless.
Yeah.
And that same motivation and that same teaching I used right to this day. Now in my son's life.
Yeah. So when I met you, you didn't have a son.
No,
right?
No.
So tell us a little bit about, man. So now you, how old is your son?
My son is 3 years old.
Okay. So he was born a couple years ago.
Yes.
What's it like being? Are you a full-time dad, a part-time dad?
Full-time.
Full-time.
Single full-time dad.
Break that down, man. What's that like?
Humbling.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it's to the point where my joy is overfilled just hearing his voice, knowing how he look up to me, knowing that I have to keep the path straight no matter what. It's more than just about me. When I wake up, when I open up my eyes, I give my thanks to God. And I know for a fact life is just more than about me. I got to do this for you, son. I got you.
Wow. So you got a 3-year-old son. You have any more children?
Yes, I have 2 daughters. They're 28 years old.
28, okay.
But I didn't get how could I say it? I didn't get the privilege at the time where my mind was at. I didn't get the privilege to raise them because I was so deep into the streets.
Okay.
And the streets caused me to see what it wanted me to see instead of seeing fatherhood. And the people, places, and things I was around always taught me, oh, baby mama got the kids. The man supposed to go do what he got to do.
Yeah.
So I went on that analogy all my life. And that led me to continue to get incarcerated from the things that I was out there doing, being a so-called, a man got to go do what he got to do.
Yeah.
And it led me to get incarcerated. And so every time it came to spend time with my children, I'm incarcerated. I'm incarcerated. I'm incarcerated. All the way until they now 28 years old, waiting still to see me.
Waiting still to see you.
Waiting still to see me.
So you almost get an opportunity to do fatherhood over again.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, even them, my daughters, I still communicate with them, via phone. And they said, Dad, you have a chance to do this all over again.
Man.
Don't do our brother the way you did us. And I made that promise to them. I said, don't even worry about it. I got this.
Yeah.
This time, God got me. Don't even worry about it. And, through going through the fatherhood programs and going through programs such as your program that was involved in the county jail, taught me how to talk to my children, the ones who I had a long distance of miscommunication with. So it taught me how to talk to them, because after so long, the distance between you and your children will subside because you don't really know how to talk to them, because these children are getting older, they becoming adults, so you don't know how to talk to them. You don't know, you want to be perfect. You want to say the perfect thing, but there's no perfection in being a father. They just want your time. They want you there.
Yeah.
So when I talked to them and we both shed tears, and it was like, Dad, you good? We grown now. Yeah. We want you to take care of yourself. We understand now. Like, we know certain things. God has blessed you with 2 daughters that understand. So take that blessing and do something with your life, and you'll come to see us, because we doing good. We all right out here.
Man.
We're going to come and see you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What you thinking, Nick?
How did that make you feel? Like,
it boosted the confidence that was already there. It gave me reassurance, because along me being in prison, I became, in touch with the God, the creator of the earth. So he told me and warned me about these things. Okay. And to actually see them manifest in the flesh and hear them being spoken from the ones that I love and care about, oh man, it's a different feeling. It's like it's an emotion that has not yet been named.
An emotion that has not yet been named.
Like,
that makes sense.
I got incarcerated, I think 2021, May 2021, and I had to do a year. Like I said before, I had to do a county cap for my last case.
How old were you?
I was about 17, 18.
Okay.
Oh, in there, yeah. So, we met. I don't remember the pod. I can't remember the pod name.
Oh, so y'all knew each other in
the county.
We met in the county.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, we met in the county.
You were 17.
I feel like we already knew each other in the past life, though. He like a father to me. Like, I looked at him like a big brother when we was incarcerated.
Okay.
Like, we just naturally I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Bond was just there. Like, we knew each other already.
So you were 17. Jimmy, do you remember how old you were?
Yes, I was 43.
43. Okay.
43, yeah. And I was, I could say it, the case.
Yeah, whatever you
I was fighting a fraud case.
Okay.
So
I seen we on the part, if you don't mind me chiming in. We in the part, and I used to see him all the time, Mr. Cole.
Okay.
And I knew it was something different about him. So me being the natural person that I am, now my mind clear. There's nothing clouding my judgment. I just sit back and watch him and see how different he was from the other young guys. And I knew he was one of the ones that'll listen. So, me being an older adult and God guiding me towards his way, it was a situation that happened one day, and I walked up to him and told him, I talked to him, I said, hey, young brother, let me talk to you for a second. Okay. I said, see, man, listen, let me say something to you, man. You see a lot of these guys around here, man, not judging nobody, but you can tell something or someone by the way it moves. It's action, thoughts, and deeds. You see how they talk all day? You see what I'm saying? They ain't ready to change, but you are. You see what I'm saying? I see it in you. You so different from a lot of these guys that's on the path in life. And for some reason, I just kept on. I went back to my cell. After I talked to him, we had to go back in. I went back to my cell. And when we came out for the next yard, you know, I started asking him about God. I'm like, how you feel about God? And stuff like that. And, you know, and he was receptive to it. So he was catching on. You know, it was a few situations in there that led me to know that he actually took the things that I said, you know, because there was a few aggravating moments, a few aggressive moments that was in there, you know, towards with other inmates, but he didn't feed off into him. Okay. You know what I mean? He chose the more mature route. And I said, yeah, he got it in him. And I always motivated him every day. And since when I seen that, I knew I can be able to uplift him every day. So I always had some positive to say to him as soon as I seen him. Or when we went and checked on him, he came out of his cell. When we was locked down, he'll come and check on me, you know. So, and it was like that. And sometimes when they allowed me to come out of my cell, I go straight to him, you know, and sit there and have a conversation with him. And the correction officers knew what I was doing. So they allowed me sometime to be on the other yard. And I'm at his door just talking to him, you know, and letting him know that our life get bigger than these Zuzus and Wham Whams. Yeah. There's something more. Yeah. You know, there's a path for you. And for me to get out of incarceration and to see this, you know, and the crazy part about it, I'm cutting my mother-in-law's lawn, cutting her lawn. His car pulled up. The first thing I do was turn around, you know, that bad boy Jimmy turned around and look. And I'm looking at him like, I know this guy, because I had already went on to prison. I had to go you know, do my time. Okay. And you know, I wished him well. You know what I'm saying? And told him to stay up. You know, I got to go take care of this. Yeah. So I went to go do my 30 months. You know, for a drug conviction. So when I went and did that, and like I say, I got out and I synced, and when he got out the car, he said, Jimmy, and he just kept saying my name. And I'm looking at him like, man, who is this guy, man? Is he from the past? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. On some garbage. Yeah. And my son in the house. But he kept looking at me, and I synced it. I said, I know who this is. It's the brother Nick. Oh, man. And then he just went to telling me, man, you know how much you inspired me and motivated me? And it just made my heart cry. I'm talking about, and not my physical heart either, my spiritual heart. I'm like, for real?
Did you know that you were making that impact?
No, I just, at that time, I was doing what I knew was the right thing. And guess what, Mr. Cole? What? From them classes that we took, like I say, I learned. And one thing about me, I retain information. Yeah. And it comes out when needed. Even though I went back to them streets, I went back to that lifestyle. But when it was time to be a parent, it was a natural thing for me to talk to him like he was my son. Because then at that time, once I got incarcerated, I had already had a newborn son who I used to talk to him about all the time. You know, so that natural instinct was in me. So once I got to talking to him, that's exactly how I view him and every other man in that pod. Either they was my uncles or my dad or my son. If they was old, I'm looking like, man, that could be my son. This can be my son. So I have to make sure and make sure that the information that I allow to leave my mouth is the right thing, because that same information can come back to me in a physical form because words are alive. Yeah. So I knew I had to motivate this brother, inspire him because of his past lifestyle. He told me it would have been foolish for me to tell him to go back out there and do everything that he was doing at first. He probably would have lost his life. Or I could have taught him how to rob, steal, kill, and destroy. Yeah. Guess what? One day I gave him an illustration. I said, one day I'll be that old man coming about the store, but I taught you how to rob, steal, and kill. I'll be an old man, 70, 80 years old, coming about a store. That same information I gave you, you're going to go teach somebody else and teach somebody else and teach somebody else. And before long, them same alive words going to come right back to me. Ooh. it was now gonna be another little kid coming up robbing me from that same energy I put out there. So I learned by having a son that I always have to put positive energy into people. You see what I'm saying? And always motivate them, uplift them. And then at the same time, when I did that, God, he did the same for me.
One thing you said a lot of things that's sitting with me, but what I heard you say, it was a shift, right? I went back from the classes and I saw a son, I saw brothers, I saw uncles.
Yep.
And I wonder how important that flip of the lens from seeing you as my enemy, as somebody that could harm me, to seeing you as somebody that is connected to me. Like the power of how that happens, and the fact that it happens in a facility setting, because that's a narrative that we often hear, is that when men enter facilities, it's hard. It's all of the aggressive things that are connected to it. But what you're saying to me is that you both were in a facility and was able to connect in a way that isn't often a story that's told, if that makes sense.
Of course.
Definitely. I agree 100%.
Yeah, of course. See, this is what I understood. Once I did get incarcerated, and all the things that I've learned over the years from my incarceration, because I had multiple incarcerations.
Okay.
So I was being trained in those incarceration settings, even though it was a bad thing. But I remember something too in the Bible. God said, what you meant for bad, I meant for good.
Yeah.
So now today, I'm able to look back and understand those exact words, because I was going through things. And like I said, earlier during this interview, when I thought about my past and all the things that I learned, it was like they was coming out at the right times. And one thing I did learn about being in that class again, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
A few more things that I learned from that class is that the enemy is not outside of me.
Oh.
Once I understood that, and once I grasped the whole meaning of that, guess what started to happen to me? The natural shift started to shift inside of me, like, if the problem ain't outside of you, then where is that? Because it's inside of me. Yeah. I'm the one said, man, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like her. I'm the one giving life to them words. I'm the one giving life to them thoughts. I'm the one allowing these thoughts to manifest. So I had to ask myself, why don't I like him? Why don't like her? Or why do I have so much hate towards these people and I never met these people? How could I have an enemy that I don't even know? Whew. And so once I delved into myself and I started to understand, like, I'm the one with the problem. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm the one with the problem. I'm throwing up a shield. Mm-hmm. I'm throwing up a life block to keep people from getting in.
Yeah.
Being afraid to let people in.
Yeah.
Fearing that I'm going to get hurt because it stemmed from my childhood. Now that I'm an adult, I see things different. And like I say, and also I have a son now. So my natural fatherhood automatically came out from all the things that I learned throughout my incarceration. So instead of me focusing on the negativity of things, all the robbing, stealing, killing, and destroying, I focus on all the good things. And once I did that, once I started to see everything good, I think I mentioned this to you one day, Brother Nick, how I see everything good no matter where I'm at. Once I did that, the world opened up to me to where I didn't focus on the negative. All I seen was the positive, because when I was living that negative world, I didn't focus on positive. So whenever I did see positive, my road of change was right there. I still walked right past it because I wasn't allowed. My mind wasn't allowing me to see it.
Yeah.
That mental eye wasn't allowing me to see it. That's what it was. So once I transformed and changed my mind, once my mind was allowed to change over and seeing the positive path, now I don't even focus on nothing negative. I see a solution. Now I see the solution because I was in the negative at first. Now I know all about it. It's like I went to college in the negative world. So now that I'm over here in positive, now I'm able to balance both worlds and give back to the negative, because now I know exactly what these people, every person wants or need, because I walk that same path.
Yeah.
I can understand them now. And I'm blessed to still be living today to be able to give my testimony.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so grateful. That lifestyle made me grateful. I'm grateful just to have water. I'm grateful just to be in front of y'all right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's so powerful, right? Because when Nick came to me, he was like, hey, I got something I want to talk to you about. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, I got somebody who I want to invite to the podcast. And I was like, I trust you. Who you talking about? He's like, it's a brother I know. It's a brother I know. I admire him, Mr. Cole. And I was like, say less. Bring him on. And then when he came back and told me your name, I'm like, bro, quit playing. Yeah. So the power of full circle is always really important to me. And you never know who you're sitting with and how the circle will come back and you'll find yourself sitting at another table with them again, right? Part of me wonders, Nick, was it just by circumstance, by accident that you pulled up on him and saw him? Like, you didn't know when he was going to be released, right?
Didn't.
And the city that we live in is a pretty large city. So the chances of you coming in contact with each other is small.
It is.
Or it's big. One of them, small or big. So go ahead.
I apologize.
No,
if you don't mind me saying,
please.
You know, his mother moved right down the street from my son. So when I got out of incarceration, you know, he was going to go see his mom. And I'm at the corner house with my son. And when you say everything does a full circle, I told that this is exactly what Nick talked about. I said, Nick, God allowed me to be in a position where I met Mr. Cole.
Man.
Now you see the information that he put out there and what he taught me, it ended up coming to you while you was incarcerated. And when you got out, guess what? The same energy draws you and him together.
Yeah.
And now that I'm out, it draws us all together.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So when they say there's somebody that knows somebody that you will end up knowing. And that's a true statement, whether that it's going to be on a negative level or a positive level. And you remember when I told you about the negative and positive when we was incarcerated, I said, Nick, this relationship between you and I can go two ways. I said, it can go negative or positive.
This is what you're telling them.
This is what I'm telling them. I said, I choose the positive with you, bro. I said, everything that I talk to you about, watch it unfold right before your eyes. I said, all you got to do is just sit back and watch because you're going to see it. You see, everybody, you can't sit down and have these conversations with. All you can do is plant the seed. And when you plant the seed, somebody else going to have to come and water it, and God going to allow it to grow because only God make things grow. So, you know, you don't force yourself on nobody or none of that. You know, and once I knew Nick loved it conversating with me, that's all I needed. That was it. So I really, you know, when me and him had conversations, they weren't no secret conversations or nothing. He had roommates and everything. And you know, it was other guys around us listening to our conversations. Like we never held nothing back because guess what? I was speaking in truth with him and he was giving me truth back. So when you speaking in truth, there's nothing hidden.
Yeah.
When you leave things out, that's where the problem come in at.
That's good.
Once I learned how to, matter of fact, we had an illustration with you one day at Network 180 when we was talking and you was like, man, you know, because we hold things in and we was always taught growing up that a man don't cry, a man don't do these certain things, and a man don't sit down, you know, deal with emotions. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
I remember that.
And I told him about that. I said, man, that's a lie, bro. Wow. A man's supposed to deal with these. He's supposed to deal with everything, and you're supposed to cry. You know what I mean? And so I said, we human beings. You know what I mean? And when we bottle these things up, that's how they come out and explode on the wrong people, places, and things. Because we did not decide to talk to nobody. And I thought it was real brave of him to sit down and talk to me about the things that he talked to me about. Yeah. You know, and that's what really drew me to him. I'm like, he's not afraid to tell me what's going on in his mind. Like he really, what it is, I can hear it in him. He want to give his testimony because once you give your testimony away and once you get it off your chest, You feel the weight lift off your shoulders.
Yeah.
And then not only do you feel the weight off your shoulder, just like how you was back then with us, Mr. Cole, we was able to release we was able to talk to you openly.
Yeah.
And guess what? You didn't judge us.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, when you coming from a harsh lifestyle like that and you around people who don't judge you, do you understand how that will make you feel? It will make you feel that you are accepted. Like, I felt as if me and Mr. Cole was family. And when I connected with you, I felt like me and you was. You see what I'm saying?
How are you processing this?
I mean,
what? Yeah, because
I'm just soaking it all in.
Soaking it in. Because part of me wants to ask you, can you recall the 17-year-old boy in that environment? What were you, I want to say looking for, and not like looking for it, but like can you articulate what was going on inside you that led?
17.
The 17-year-old you. And that's not too far. I mean, how many years ago was that?
That was about 3 years
3
ago.
years ago.
Three, 4. I think 17, I was still kind of in that mindset of like, it's like 50-50. I still want to do this. I still got to do this. And I want to get out of doing this. I'm getting tired of, getting locked up, going back to back. So at the end of 17, that's when it just kicked in. Like, I was just sitting in the cell one day, I think. I'm just replaying my whole life, playing my whole life over.
So talk to the viewers, because there are a lot of people that don't know what it's like to sit in a cell and have to play your life. What does the cell look like as you're replaying your life, if you could speak to that?
There's really nothing in the cell. It's just a brick wall. I mean, a toilet. You basically live in the bathroom.
Okay.
You basically live in the bathroom. You looking at nothing. I mean, you can look out the outside, depending on where you at. But I mean, it's just really, I feel like you can visualize your life better, though. Just because you don't see nothing around you, you just see, like, cause I feel like I got photographic memory. So It's just like photographic memories popping up back to back.
And you're sitting with those photographic memories in a room that is built with cement, where they say nothing grows.
It's possible. It's possible.
Right?
It's either make you or break you.
Yeah. So there you are in this brick room with a toilet the size of a bathroom, where oftentimes it's hard for anything to grow without soil. And there you are with this photographic memory, and you're tired. What are you saying to yourself? Because there was a kind of energy that led y'all. But what were you saying to yourself that helped water that energy to move in that kind of place, you think?
First, I had to find something I believed in. I had to find something I believed in first. That was number one. And then I started reading, started doing research on supreme mathematics, the Quran, and the Bible.
Okay.
So first I wanted to find something that I believed in to help find myself.
I remember the hardest time in my life.
I felt sure of who I was and where I was going.
Looking back, I can see how lost I really was. I made choices that I didn't have to make.
Took paths that led nowhere. And the truth is, I didn't have anyone to guide me.
At some point, we've all needed guidance. Without it, we can fall further than we ever imagined.
Right now, our youth face more challenges than ever.
Social media, pressure, a world constantly telling them who they should be.
That's why the Boys to Mentors program is so important.
A mentor you relate to can be the difference between struggle and success.
Be the person that you wish you had.
Donate today, because their future is our future.
That's important for our listeners and viewers to process. It took a lot of experiences that you've had, not positive, that led you into a brick room with a toilet to say to myself, I've got to find something to believe in outside of myself to find myself.
Yeah.
And you said you did something that's powerful.
Something
you started
that's bigger than me.
Yeah, you started reading.
That's when I started reading. I never liked reading. Like as a kid, I never liked reading. Like once I got to really seal myself, like it felt like I was forced to read. Like then I started gaining information that that's not, in the world, usually I feel like the world is designed to keep you blind.
Yes.
So it's a lot of hidden information in books.
I'm holding myself because I'm trying to contain what I'm feeling, because there's power in the word, right? We talk about that. So when you open up a book, the words are in there, and once you connect with it, it's a power. And the fact that it took you to not, you didn't like books to get to a place where you had to open up a book, you were ready.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy shows up.
Yeah. And I feel like everything just happened for a reason. It's like that last time just opened up my eyes. Like it was like a flower that wasn't growing, then it just like, I just sprouted. Like I could say also that take me back to a time he gave me a verse in the Bible. And remind you, he don't know this. Before he writing this verse in the Bible, it was 5:22 Galatians, I think.
Galatians, fruit of the Spirit.
That was I feel like signs and symbols is for the conscious mind.
Come on, Nick. Come on.
And my release date was 5/22. So I'm just like, wow. That just like blew my mind. I'm just like, this can't be real. Like, I don't know. Like, I pay attention to little things. Like, I'm like, I met this man for a reason. Like, he a part of my testimony, my story.
Think back, Nick, when I gave you that illustration. You remember I gave you an illustration as when you in your cell and you see them bricks in there, how you can take all your thoughts and throw them inside each brick and just look at them. Your past, present, and your future, and you just look at them. Either I can turn this incarceration into a good thing, as if I was going away to college, learn something, or I can learn how to go out there and be more criminally involved in people, places, and things, because that's just what we're dealing with all day, people, places, and things. What am I gonna allow to consume me? You can either let the negative mentality consume you, or you can let that positive mentality consume you. And you remember what I was telling you, the reason why I had gave you Galatians 5:22 is because the first fruit of the Spirit in there is love. And when you start off with that, and you look around and you have love, even when you was in situations in the county jail, what I used to tell you, man, just blow it off, man, because there's something bigger and better for you. Look where you sit today. Things don't happen for no reason. You see what I'm saying? Things are lined up in life for a reason. And we as men, we have to face our past. A lot of times we like to shut it out, but that's the worst thing you can ever do in your life. That's why I gave you that illustration about the bricks, to go through all your mind, go through everything and see exactly what you want to do in life and face it. Because as I read the Bible, as I read the Holy Writings, everybody, and we talking about different sects now, we talking about different religious groups I've studied because my time being incarcerated. So I was able to read multiple books. Guess what? One of the things that always stood out to me, everybody always faced whatever their fear was. And when you do that, you're going to find out that fear don't have that much control over you as you thought. Fear of death, or fear of this, fear of that. it really wasn't as bad as you thought it was until you faced it. When you faced it, you were like, oh man, I really thought that this was just gonna take me out. But see, everything don't have to take you out. Everything don't have to burn you up. The fire can do that if you stay in it for too long, but it can refine you. You see what I'm saying? And we got placed in those situations, like my mindset kept going back to criminal activity and I kept getting incarcerated. And every time my mind was being refined to where I'm at today. It's like I was a sacrifice to be able to give back to people now, because there's nothing that no one can say to me that I don't truly know what they're talking about, because I actually lived it. I lived on the streets. I lived the high life. I lived the low life. I lived the good and the bad. I was all over the place. God had allowed me to be all over the place, different cities, different states, and living my lifestyle the way I was, and I actually survived and lived. A lot of people who I know had perished and died, you know. So today, I choose to follow that righteous path. And that righteous path is giving back to people.
Yeah.
You know, showing love, because that's all we need. You know, one thing I've learned, the most toughest gangster in the world, the toughest thug in the world, if you showed that man love and you moved on his time, guess what's going to happen? He's going to eventually come to you, because he know that you ain't there to harm him. You ain't in this life for a negative reason. You just have to move on their time and be patient. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Feed him the truth every time you talk to him. Uplift him. Uplift him. Don't talk about their situation. Oh man, you're supposed to go. Don't talk about it. Just give them insight. Like, if you go do this, you know what's going to end up happening, right? Now, if you choose not to do this, if you sit back and be patient, things that might go your way. See, I don't force myself on them. I just give them the truth and I just speak to them. I see it from their point of view. I know you want what you want, but going to go get it that way, this is what you're putting at risk. And even the things that I said out my mouth, these are things that I learned myself over time.
Yeah.
See, time had allowed me to be where I'm at in my mindset now. It was time that did that to me. And the highest form of love I've learned is giving your time to somebody.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing about nothing material, none of that. That's one thing fatherhood taught me.
Yeah, man.
Fatherhood
Just
taught me
about to say.
that. I'm talking about
Yeah.
TIME, speak volumes. I'm talking about, if you ask any man or woman in this world, what do their children require from them?
Yeah.
And you ask the children of those parents, and what would the children say? All I want is my mommy and my daddy. That's all I want is my parent. All I wanted was your time.
Yeah.
Your material thing, that stuff don't mean nothing. I go see my son right now, and I'm not even in a position, I don't, because I just got out. I only been out for a few weeks.
Okay.
All he wanted his dad time. He don't care about what dad come to bring to him. He don't care about what kind of clothes dad got on. He don't care about all the fancy thing. All he want is the time. My dad.
Tell us about your experience when you got out and he saw you for the first time.
You really want to hear that?
Absolutely, because when was the last time he saw you? Right on up to this time. So can you speak to, like, how much time did you spend with him before you went away? And then what was it like when he saw you again? And he's 3.
Okay. All right. His mother, I was with his mother the whole time she was pregnant.
Okay.
I went to the hospital, cut his umbilical cord. The minute he was born, the minute I cut that cord, he never left my sight.
Never?
All the way up until I got incarcerated.
Okay. And how long was that?
About six and a half months.
Okay. So for 6.5 months.
So for 6.5 months, he was with me daily. I talked to him. He laughed. I'm talking about everything. Even as a baby, he had enough information given to him by his creator to know exactly who I was.
Okay.
Every time I got up, his little head would turn to look and see where his dad went to.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay. And this is in that 6-month period.
In that 6.5 months.
Okay.
And that's led me. And then I got incarcerated because I had that mentality.
Yeah.
A man has to go do what he got to do to make the ends meet, to take care, his family.
Yeah.
So, but in the process, I got incarcerated. They gave me 30 months. I had to go do my 30 months. Got out. His grandmother was at the bus station waiting on me. His little sister came in there. She said, "Come on, Jimmy. Everybody in the car." So I go out there, get in the van. For a minute, he was stunned. He just looked at me, all puzzled, like, I never seen, who is this? And then I got to talking. I said, "Hey, son. Hey, son." And he's still looking at me until his senses kicked in, like, oh, I see how his face went from to amazement. He said, "My dad." That was it. And he been stuck to me ever since I've been out. And he looks at me beyond, everybody say a hero, but the way he look at me and the way he treats me is amazing. Like, there is no word even to be said out the alphabetical in the English language, man, to even explain the feeling. I can't even explain it. I love my son so much. I'm talking about so much. I'm talking about, oh man, I know his heartbeat. I know all of it. I just love him. I love him. I love him with everything in me. I talk to him about God every day. He sit there and pray with me, everything. He do it all with me. He just sit there with me and he actually mimic everything I do.
Yeah.
Everything. And that's what motivates me to be an upstanding father.
Yeah.
Not just in the eyes of the people, but I know for a fact if I'm an upstanding man, if I'm a man of God, I don't even have to worry about nothing else. I treat everybody with love and respect, and he gonna do the same thing because he looking at me. There can be 1,000 men in the room, but he paying attention to me.
Yes.
Come on, Dad. I can take him somewhere, and he can go around people that he don't know. He'll wrap his arms around my leg and look at me like,
yeah,
what we gonna do next?
I'm in tears. I'm not even sure. Well, I know why. How does that feel?
It's like I say, it's a feeling that's beyond a feeling. It's so natural to the point where it's like how God gave us life, and I'm seeing it outside of myself. And like he really depend on me. Like he's banking on my every word, my every action, thought, and deed. Like it would be foolish of me to express or show him anything different. And I know the road that I traveled. And I looked at him and said, "Son, it's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna teach your friends everything. Dad got you. Don't even trip." And I said, "And everybody else we meet, when I walk now, wherever I go, I don't even mind giving nobody my time. Just to hear them. Some people just be needing a hug. Some people just need somebody to hear them and get things off their chest. And I don't think I'm better than nobody. Sure. I just know with the information that I retain that I can do better.
Knowing that some of our listeners will be men and women who are currently in a room full of bricks where there's a toilet, what would you both say to them? Knowing that you're unplugged from that world and no longer in that room, what would you say to them?
I say the same thing I said to myself. You got to believe in something bigger than you.
For me, and to piggyback off what you said, you do have to believe. I would say this right here. Being a returned citizen multiple times, I would say this right here to an individual, male or female. Whenever you get incarcerated, take that time that you've been given. Remember, we're dealing with time. Take that time that you was forced to be away from society and away from everybody and focus on self. And when I mean by focusing on self, understand who you are and why you do the things that you're doing. And when you do that, when you face yourself fully 100%, who else outside of you can say anything negative to you? Who can put you down? Who can do all these things because now you know the truth? Now you know how to proceed forward. Once them doors do open, now you have a choice. See, long time ago, when we was out there, our choice was taken away from us. You know why? By our environment, by the people who was teaching us back then. Oh, bro, it's okay to have that gun. It's okay to have that dope. It's okay to break in these people's house. It's okay to steal. It's okay to do these criminal activities and get away with it. Oh, man, you're going to come up with all type of reasons why they out there doing what they doing. But when you face yourself and tell yourself the truth, the 100% truth, and won't better out your life, don't do it for mommy. Don't do it for daddy. Don't do it for the kids. Do it for yourself. And when you do it for yourself and you actually have the proper information to proceed forward, then guess what you're going to do? You ain't going to have no choice but to move out in success because your mind ain't going to know nothing else because you done went through your whole history of what your mind was doing when it was in that negative aspect. And take the programs that's in there. Because ain't nothing in there to harm you. It's only how you looking at it. Yeah. Change your outlook. Change your outlook and say, instead of me being in here and thinking my problem is outside of myself, I'm going to go within myself. I'm going to be grateful for everything. I'm going to be grateful that I got a toilet in my room. I'm going to be grateful that they give me my 3 meals a day. I know that may sound crazy. But when you start to be grateful, just be grateful. Grateful that you still breathing. Grateful that you still able to change because change has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
We seek change all the time.
Yeah.
You just have to make that decision. And once you make that decision, the wheels of life gonna start turning and you're gonna see it. And once you start to see it, because now you done moved yourself away from yourself. You done took that self inside of you, put it to rest, and trust me, it's going to keep fighting because it wants to leave.
It wants to leave.
It wants to leave.
It's powerful that you talk about the inside. So you go in the inside where you have nothing in so many ways but time. Time to the point that you don't, I'm not seeing one guy in there that had a watch on.
No.
When I go into the jail. I mean, I was thinking about the class I just had last night, and I was like, as I'm walking in, and I tell people this feeling that I get when I reach the elevator and get off to go to enter into one of the doors. 'Cause I've also learned we go in through different doors. You never had the chance, if you were incarcerated, you don't get a chance to go through the door that somebody like me would go through to get into the facility.
No, you don't.
Right? And so I take an elevator to get there. Once I get there, I go, there's a larger room, and then there's the door that lets me know what unit I need to go in. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, I'm like, I remember always when I walk in that door and that door slams behind me, the hallway, there's a smell that I pick up on when I walk in. I don't know if I tell people, I'm like, it smells like incarceration. And I don't even know if that's a real thing, but it's a smell that I'm like, and anybody who's gone in from this side of the coin is like, yeah, you could smell it. So when I go in and that door closes and I go to say, hey, I want to start my group, I noted last night that nobody had a watch on. And I noted everybody had time, but the time was controlled in these various ways, but they had time. And I was saying to them, I'm like, damn, you unplugged. That means you got time to like focus on yourself. Mm-hmm. You got time to process. You got time to think. You got time to hear yourself. You got time to like deal with some of the things you've not been able to deal with because there's so many other elements when you plug back into the world that pulls you away from the ability to like hear yourself and think about things. And I'm like, I'm often trying to prep my assignments in a way that I'm like, my God, Cole, I don't know what it's like to be incarcerated, but how do I hold brothers to an accountability like, yo, you have to take this time to do this work without also causing harm, because maybe some of the things that the questions that I might ask in an assignment might be too heavy for a brother to do with that time. But I had a little brother in my class last night say something so profound in the journal topics that I gave him. He's like, Cole, I couldn't do the journal topics. All the journal topics was good, but I couldn't do them yet. And I'm like, it's okay. But what I want you to be able to do is at least be able to acknowledge when you're not ready yet. So that's huge. But two, when you do get ready, the assignment is there for you. But Jimmy and Nick, I tell you, as a person coming in who's never been on that side, it's also really hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's also really hard. Because last night I was in a room with nothing but brothers that look like me. And what's crazy is I've been in the world so long that the 46-year-old brother that was in the room looked like he was 32. And I was like, my God. And he said, Cole, I've been in and out. I've been, incarcerated in and out. So my lived experience in the world is completely different than your lived experience, right? And so I'm like, but when I go in there, I tell them, although I have never been physically incarcerated, my God, has my mind been incarcerated.
And that's where it starts.
Yeah, my God, has my mind been locked up, imprisoned.
That's where it starts.
And so...
when you first walk in there in the jails and that door, you said that door closed behind you and it's a certain smell.
Yeah.
I think and I feel that certain smell is the energy coming out of people's pores who want to do better. It's a certain smell that comes out because the things are being released out of them. So and now it's closed in.
That's powerful.
And also too, with time, everybody's time in there is valuable. The guards, the inmates. It's all about what you're doing with your time. It's what you're choosing to do with your time. Do you really want change? Do you really want something better with yourself? Because time do not have to be against you in there. It can work for you. And I'm a firm believer and an example, because that's exactly what I did. I said, this time when I go do this 30 months, I'm going to literally let time work for me. And when I did that, instead of me working for time, because when I was working for time, I was always on a rush. I was always trying to hurry up and get everything done. But once I allowed time to work for me, it was a smooth ride. It's like everything fell in place. It was perfect timing with everything because I was never in a rush. I got tasks done in a timely manner every time, because I wasn't rushing. My thoughts wasn't rushing. See, more times than often when we out in the world and we just going about our life, time in our head, time is going so fast till we have to do everything in a hurry. Yeah. It's a microwave world. We got to do this. We got to go do this and go do this. So when we get incarcerated, we still have that same mindset instead of slowing your mind down and understanding where you at. And when you understand where you at and you get to looking around, you can either choose two paths. I'm going to allow this to work for me, or I'm going to allow it to work against me. I can either let the world in here, the environment in here consume me, or I can let something else consume me, because something going to consume you. But it's all about what you consuming in your mind and what you allowing in your spirit. And once you come to that realization and you pay attention to that, your people, places, and things, even inside there, because that's a world within itself. Yeah. But guess what though? When I got to looking at it in a positive light, I was blessed. I felt as though I went somewhere and had time to work on me. God took me out of certain situations to go in there, son, work on yourself this time. Now I've been allowing your butt to get incarcerated all the other time. You didn't learn, and you bumped your head. You learned, but you just didn't follow. You heard, but you weren't listening. So this time I actually started listening. I started listening to that inner self. I started listening to it. I started listening to that gut feeling. Like, no, this ain't right. Yeah. This ain't right. This ain't right. I said, well, I know about all the criminal activity. I know about so why would I want to sit down and learn more about that? I said, you know what I'm finna do? I'm finna dive into the deep of the unknown. I'm finna travel a path that I never really traveled before. And you know what that path was?
What?
Seriousness. Taking everything serious. About who I'm about, what my character development about to be. Because you in control of that.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? It's all about what you allowing yourself to consume. Because whatever you consuming will consume you. Like I learned when a person's smoking a cigarette. You think you're consuming that cigarette, but that cigarette consuming you. When you're using drugs, you think you're consuming them drugs, but them drugs consuming you. When you're drinking alcohol, you ain't consuming that alcohol consuming you. You see, so you have to pay attention. We have to pay attention when we in incarcerated places like that. I know everybody had issues with their family. They going through a sense of depression, but grab hold of it. Because even when we was out there in the streets, we still couldn't do nothing about what's taking place out here.
Yep.
So while you in there, take the time and work on yourself and be a better you. So when you come home, guess what? You can reintroduce yourself. My name ain't such and such no more. This is my name. My name Jimmy.
If you could speak directly to policymakers and community leaders, what would you tell them they need to understand about men like you who are returning home?
To be patient, because, you know, guys like us that's coming home, you know, depending on what mindset that person in, he or she is in, you know, they damaged. So, you know, and if you truly looking to help this person, be patient. And, you know, and don't force nothing on them. You know, allow them to grow respectfully, you know, and continue to just, you know, pour into these communities and you know, into the resources that we have out here, you know, because they are here to help us, you know.
So the podcast is called What I Know Now, right? Mm-hmm. If you could put it in one sentence, what do you know now that you didn't know then? One sentence.
I am a child of God and I'm worth it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for listening. Check out our programs on the Delta Project's website, thedeltaproject.co, and be sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.